Okay, thank you very much for the invitation to come here. I'm always very happy to talk about job rotation. In Denmark I have 2 children, but I think job rotation must be my 3rd children, because I worked with it since 1990. First 7 years in Denmark, where the whole system was developed and it was piloted and it was implemented into the legislation. And then from 1998 to 2005, I worked as the General Secretary of the EU Job Rotation International Association. And for that reason, I was here and there everywhere in Europe to promote job rotation, to discuss job rotation, to see all the problems with job rotation. We were even in Rome. Vitor, when was that? In 99? 2000. That was Amsterdam, I think. Never mind. I think it was 2000, yeah. We were in Rome and had one of our European conferences. So I'm really happy to come back and ask you what has happened since then. The big question is, what is job rotation? But first I will ask you, is anybody here hearing the word job rotation for the first time in their life today? Not you, Vitor? Okay, so you have all an idea of what job rotation is. You know that job rotation is a tool which combines different policies and strategies. The former English Minister of Labour, Brown, called it a win-win-win situation, because it helped employees to get further training and education, new competences, so to say. It helps unemployed to get a chance on labour market, work practice, and in many cases a job afterwards. And it helps society to develop because the economy, the companies will increase their level of competences. So a win-win-win situation. And the concept is very simple. Now if we have Ilona and Vitor and has to go on further education and training, and their managers say no. And why does he say no? Because they have to work. There's work to do. There are products to sell. There's market to reach. So no, you can't go. You have to stay and work. And we say, but we have a solution, because we train the 3 of you to come in and substitute while you are away. And afterwards, when the company has a new job, who do you think we will take? Exactly, the 3 of you. Because you know the company now, you're part of the informal network, you are into the professional language and so on. And that's the core of job rotation. That's how it works. So it should be simple, shouldn't it? But there are always complications when it comes to job rotation. I take you back a little to 1999. That was a really happy time. We were traveling around all Europe, and we were convincing really a lot of partners that they should pilot job rotation. As I said, we were in Rome, but I'm afraid to say it was only partly organized from people from Rome. It was in fact Sicily. Organizers Roberta Messina and Archidona, who were the main organizers, because they had piloted job rotation here down. And why? Because Sicily, as you know, they have a lot of tourism. But were they satisfied? No. Sicily should have much more tourism than they have. But that means new skills, languages, cultures, new way of hospitality, services, and so on. So they were already piloting job rotation, not in 2001, but already in 1997. And in 2000 they held these conferences. And that was taking on all over Europe at this time. Later I will come back to some examples of what companies, but I have to warn you already now, it is all kind of companies, all kind of sectors. It just has to be tailor-made. You cannot come and say, this is the way we do job rotation. That's it. No. We have to tailor-make it. We have to see, the three of you, what kind of training do you need when you go for further education, and how do you use it when you come back in the company? And for the three of you substitutes, we have to do a period where you get practice in the company, and we have to be sure that the timing is all right, and we have to be sure that the money is there. That's the point. Can we go to the next? Now, this is one example. That's how I started. So I'm a little sentimental now, and take you back to Fibertex, non-woven textile. That is a little larger company. Next, we'll look at a small micro company. Half of the 350 employees were blue-collar workers. They are working in an area of very strong competition. 75% of the work were exporting. They were working with 3 production lines, but they had some problems. One of them was that the implementation time for new technology was almost half a year. And if you don't think that is a problem, you should know that they shift technology every year. So they are always running behind the new technology. How good is it to have a new production machinery if you can't really use it properly? One of the reasons for this was that there was only one guy. He was traveling to Austria. There he had a demonstration of the new cutter, so to say. Then he came home and he had to introduce every single employee to it. It took a very long time to make it work properly. Okay? There were no tradition for further training and education, and 20% of the blue-collar worker mainly had very big lack of reading and writing skills. It means that whenever they were handed over a manual, read this and make your job. Whoa, what do I do? Go home to my wife or my colleague or whatever? Not good. The staff flow was 15% per year. The company did not have any good brand in the area. People were thinking of this as a little backstanding company. No education, no development, hard work, so on. So 15% were shifting every year. At the same time, sorry. I can't say it at the same time. This was in the beginning of 19th, and this is in the middle of the 19th. There was a problem in whole Europe, also here in Italy. Maybe it's even larger now. It's called the generation shift problem. In Berlin, there was a group of entrepreneurs in the building sector. The typical problem was that the old owner wants to retire. I've done my part. I worked hard all my life. Now I want to, travel, use time with my family and so on. But the son and the daughter, what do they want to take over the company? They want to go to Canada and study at the university. It's a small company, 14 employees, and the second man, so to say, is very good. He administrates a lot. He has good contact with the customers, but he has no managerial skills. He knows nothing about economic calculation and so on. So he can't take over, even if he could buy it. The market position is good. The Berlin Wall went down and everything else went up. So there was a big need for that kind of companies. But that also means there was absolutely no time for upscaling. Now these two companies, I know you're all sitting and thinking about what can we do for them. And I won't expose it now. That will have to be for later. Now I'll take you in another direction. Now I will take you to Scotland. In Scotland, well, you have to see this. We just congratulated Scotland. Why? Because in a small area called Ayr, which is the west coast of Scotland, and it is really nice if you want to journey north, then they have just had 100 companies making job rotation.